Lister can do it well tonight. Lister's got a good voice. So hopefully he won't disappear from us. Yeah, we are back. We are back. Welcome back. It's good. So let's move on with the cutting on the dry relationship with the haircut. But in the meantime, welcome back. Please don't go away. We'll try not to go away. So this is what happens now. We work with the comb. So we're working on the larger part of the comb to the thinner part of the comb. So if we make a mistake with this part, we can then get out of it with the other part. So what we have to do is put an imaginary line all the way through the hair. I generally look at the occipital bone. So what we're going to do now is just go straight in and cut. So it's a question of moving the comb in and out and keeping the blade moving at a regular pace. So let's just go in nice and tight, keep it moving. So again, by doing this, you can actually just keep the shape moving. Let's just come around so I can get a better view for the camera, because we have to keep the camera where it is in one position now. Otherwise we'll lose the signal again. So again, it's just a question of just keeping things moving and looking at where we're going. So then what we'll do in a moment is go into it with a pair of clippers into the bottom and cheat once we've done all of this part. So again, this part's really important, just keeping the shape really nice and tight. So again, this is the part that forms the shape. So again, we're looking at two things. We're looking at a two-dimensional haircut. We're looking at the colour as well, how the colour sits with the hair, because again, if you cut it too short, it'll go darker. And if you cut it sometimes too short, it goes lighter. So you get a definite colour change on there. And again, if you're working down on the skin for a skin fade, yeah, you've really got to be getting it perfect. Nick's wife, Sharon McCaffrey, last week said that skin fades were very popular. They are very popular at the moment. A lot of people are asking for them, so it's really imperative that you get your graduation absolutely perfect before you put the clippers in and start doing your skin fading out. So you have to think about that as you're doing it. Also, big thanks to my dad tonight for doing the filming, because he puts up with me week in, week out, and my rattle on there. Andy Hardy, nice to see you on there. Helen Bailey, big mate. Also, Lauren, nice to have you back with us. Kerry Southam, woo! Nice to see you back with us on there, sweetheart, tonight. It's all good. I'm sure your family are sitting with you tonight, enjoying. I'll be seeing you again on Sunday as we go to Croft Hill to do Primal. You might see me later do a live feed off the A5 when I go running down there later on tonight, because I've got to prove I've got evidence that I've done something. No doubt Glenda won't be too pleased with that, but yes, I need to do some kind of proof that I've done something. So when I get home tonight, I shall no doubt be running down the A5 tonight on a quick live feed to prove to Jeremy that I've done something. So moving along now, obviously I'm proving I'm doing something here with Joseph. Just taking it outside. You can see again, we're looking at an imaginary line, what we're working with, so we can see that shape. Again, we've not touched any of the cuts, so it's a question of just making sure that everything just sits perfect. Now
it's going perfectly for me, Scott, so
that's good. That's important. What we'll do, Claire Hill, nice to see you with us tonight, live from Burbage. Hopefully the main man's all right as well. He'll be watching there.
Former regulars of mine at Harvester as well. Nice to see you, Claire.
Hey, say hello to her if you want to.
How are you doing, Claire? Nice to see you. How are things? You know, unfortunately not Harvester, but Tower Lounge is where it's at now, apart from Scott Bailey Hairdressing, of course.
So you have to make sure you say hello to the main man, Joshua. That's his name, main
Hello,
man.
Joshua. How are we?
There you go. That's it. Right, let's just quickly do the fringe, because I nearly forgot to do the fringe. Because obviously when we had that breakdown of communication, right, just very quickly, we're going to be working now with the style stick. Sold a few of these to the girls, so I know Carrie Southam's purchased one of these. She'll be itching to use those if she's not used it already. You'll see there's red lights in there. That basically takes the negative ions into positive. So let's just put this through here. So basically that means static hair, it controls it. So I'm just going to put this on the front, just to have a nice little wrap round. You can see how quick it grips it, and literally just puts a nice smooth finish in there. I saved all this for when everybody was on there watching, so we didn't do any of this earlier on, so we can now see how long that fringe is. Just in there, and that's just really tidied that up, the same as when we did Aunt Collie's hair. So now I'm just going to put the second part of the program in. We're going to use Muck hair lacquer, and again that just holds it in position whilst I'm just doing this part of the cut, because again I need it to be looking perfect. Nick McCaffrey, nice to see you on there. Let's put him on. Let's just Nick, good to see you, bro. Hope you're all right. I'm really looking forward to working with you and Dan when you come and see us on the 22nd. It's really good. I'm really pleased that you're with us tonight, live from Poland. I hope you're having a good time, and I also hope that you're you're enjoying yourself out there, because it's a very different place to be. But I look forward very much to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for your support. As with everybody, it's international. Stay cool. It's good to see you with us. So let's just move around the other side.
Move round it again.
So now we need to just move the camera over to the other side, Dad, if we can. That's it. Over the head we go. It's like a carousel tonight. So we're in one fixed position with the camera tonight, just purely so we can keep the signal on. So again, imagining that imaginary line that we're cutting to, and then we'll just take it in there. Has Charlotte asked you to wave yet?
Who?
Who? Charlotte, the assistant manageress.
No.
Has she asked you to wave yet?
Susie Hart, say hi to me and Asia.
Susie Hart, let's have a quick look. Susie Hart. Oh, excellent. Good evening, Susie Hart, and good evening to Asia. Nice to see you with us tonight on there. Dad, put the camera on the mirror and give yourself a wave so that Charlotte can see you, because she'll be looking, no doubt. So while we're on the subject of Charlotte, our assistant manageress, and Georgia, our manageress, any person that comes to Scott Bailey Hairdressing on a Saturday will receive a free complimentary, that's a complimentary glass of Prosecco with any colour service that is actually done live in the salon on a Saturday. So we obviously don't charge for it, so it's a complimentary item that we're doing. The girls have got a lot of different promotions coming out between now, well, they're rolling out between now and Christmas, so keep your eyes on Scott Bailey on Facebook for the salon, and I'm sure that Charlotte's and George's promotions will be on there, and you'll be able to see what's coming out next.
Grace wants a big eye.
Where's Grace? Is it Grace as
Big
in
mates.
little mate? Let's just have a quick look. Hello, little mate. Hope you're okay. Good to see you with us tonight. So make sure you don't put the toothpaste in the dolls there tonight. All right, and the muck as well. Look after Daddy's muck. Don't put it in your dolly.
Jackie Frenson, John.
Jackie Fretson. Hello, sister. Nice to see you with us. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Good to see you there. So I'm just cleaning off again the pressure of having a camera on you when you're doing this.
Shout out to Emma Harrison.
Alison.
Emma Harrison.
Emma Harrison. But good evening. Woo! Good to see you on there. It's great. All these people ask for shout outs. It's brilliant. I love it. So as I was saying, we're looking through now as we're doing this. There's no pressure like having a camera on you when you're doing this, because again, if it wasn't cut correctly, you'd see this a mile off immediately. So again, it's just a question of just keeping everything moving, nice and tidy, and it all comes together.
Scott, can you give a Derek Garner a shout? He's nearly 60.
Derek Gardner, big good evening. Happy 59th, but happy 60th, because it's nearly his 60th. That must be Hannah Gardner's father and Ben Gardner's father, Derek, I'm guessing. A great singer. So, happy 60th when it comes. I'm sure
Lynn
you'll have
Smith.
a great day. Lynn Smith, good evening. Nice of you to join us tonight.
Wow, Lynn.
You'll know Lynn.
Do you know Lynn?
Let's say hello quick to Lynn.
Hello, Lynn. How are we? Nice to see you. You know, living the dream at Scott Bailey, of course. You know.
You've got a major fan club you have tonight.
Well,
I didn't realise.
it's great to see that two fan clubs can come together, Scott, isn't it?
Nice of you to say. Very appreciative. It's just nice that we have people that are interested tonight. It makes it worthwhile doing this. So the thinning scissors now are really just cleaning up what's going on just below the parietal ridge, which I know Ross loves that all through there. So we're just now cleaning that off. As with all my parietal conditioning friends, family I should say, you all know the two finger, well, the second knuckle discipline, and also the parietal ridge. It all comes into play with this haircut, because again it's all about the
Jan
discipline,
Gregson,
the cut.
sir.
Jan Gregson, great to see you with us tonight, Jan. I hope you're okay, and young Michael as well. Good to see you on there. So yeah, now I'm just cleaning everything up just to make sure everything works well. Again, it's all about making sure that everything looks really clean and aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So you won't want a solid line on here, so just got to keep it looking absolutely perfect.
David Beckworth.
David Beckworth, nice to have you with us tonight, David Beckworth. And look, like seeing you on Primal and at the new ploughing. Good to see you there, bro. Hope you're okay. Cruising the sea maybe in your A3 tonight. That's good. That's what it's all about, all these local people. It's great. Right, now we're just about ready to start coming into the clipper part of the cut. So we've got the cut that we've imagined with the line we can see now is fading in. We've got a perfect fade. Now we just need to get the clippers. Let's get some clippers on the game. So, a normal pair of clippers. say normal para
Graham
clippers.
Baxter.
Graham Baxter Punk, nice to see you with us tonight. It's from Salon Ice. Must come over and see it at some point. So, clippers, it's open blade, closed blade, the same as the large part of the comb, that's that. The small part of the comb, that's that. Okay, so that's to get out of jail card. We're now going to start on a 2. What happens is we'll fade the 2 to here. So 2.5 actually, we'll do 2.5 first, then 2, then 1.5, 1, then a half, then a 0, and that will give us the perfect fade with a pair of clippers. So it's a question of coming in, thinking where we're going with it, and again it's just taking it out so everything sits perfect. Let's just get a little bit of motor oil on this blade a minute. I did oil it up earlier. Let's just have a little bit on there. So I said to Gracie the other day, it's not
Connection is weak.
okay, let's find out where about it. We might disappear, folks, in a minute.
That's all that's gone back.
Oh, there we go. That's it, excellent. Right, so let's just bring it around the other way. Nice to know the connection's weak. At least Rob Smith has done a great job with us tonight, that we've not had it dropping out too much. So now you can see we're taking the 2 up to the occipital, which gives it nice clean look. Now we're going to go in with a number 1. So again, the 1 goes on and it's going to go into a open blade, 1.5. Just bringing that just below. I'm going to close it off to a closed blade on a 1. Bring that in as well.
Matthew Sidwell.
Matthew Sidwell, nice to see on there with us. So I didn't get back to the other day about the advice. If you inbox me privately, I'll be only too pleased to help you out with what your query is. Okay. So again, we're into a closed blade now, which is onto the skin, and you'll be able to see, hopefully with the light, it's a nice fade coming down just there. So that's what we're after all the way around, that perfect fade. And that's really how you do a nice fade, and then you just get your thinning scissors through that part there just to blend it in. But that's originally how I was taught when I did this for Tony and Guy, Remy's, and of course not forgetting Vito Sassoon and Paul Mitchell. So again, you never forget good teachers. Big name to any of my teachers that are on tonight, or any of my mentors. Probably Sally Ann Dexter will be watching tonight, I'm guessing, and probably Debbie Digby will be watching also, and maybe Ken West. If you are watching, thank you so much for what you did for me. I really appreciate it, as with any of my teachers that have taught me and supported me in what I do. Also, a big good evening to any of the staff from the salon tonight, the team, because I know Barbara's been watching tonight on holiday. Charlotte's always on there, Brad's on there. You know, we couldn't do what we do without all of the team, so it's an amazing team we've got down here. Exceptional hairdressers.
Couldn't agree more as well.
Thank you, Joe. So again, you know, we couldn't do it, so a big good evening to all the team as well. They'd probably be a bit too shy to come and speak on the camera, but I'm shy as well, believe it or not. I'm really shy. Most people are thinking, oh, I'm sure. No, I am shy. Not in my own environment, I am shy. But this is my environment, so
That's it.
tonight I feel quite at home.
Connor Robson.
Connor Robson, good evening. Nice to have you with us tonight.
Good man, Connor.
Do you want to say hello to Connor Robson?
Good man, Connor. How are you doing? Thanks for helping with the chairs earlier. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much.
From Tarot Lounge then.
Absolutely. Tarot Lounge. Good evening to the family from Tarot Lounge and else is watching.
Nicky Gower.
Nikki Gower, good to have you back with us, sweetheart. Hope you enjoy straighteners. It's one of our models from previously, the same as Helen Bailey. It's good to see all our previous models on there. I'm guessing Ian Harrison's on there. Karen Booth's on there as well. Aunt Collie made an appearance earlier. Lucy Collie also made an appearance. So it's great to see some of our previous models. Again, without the models, we could not have done what we're doing. So thank you to you all. I'm going to put a collage together of all the models very shortly, so everybody can sort of see the work again and view it from what we've done. Because again, let's not forget, this is a great tool for people that are learning hairdressing or are qualified hairdressers that want to learn something or revisit something. This is a great way of doing it, and it just means that you're in a position where you can actually view the videos and sort of play them at your own leisure and be able to learn something hopefully from them, which is what it's all about, sharing. And I'm very much into sharing and trying to help people, because again, without help you do not get where you get. So it's important to try and help people as you move along the way. So there's side one, which we can now see coming through. We'll do a little bit of a fade with thinning scissors later through there. We're now going to come into side two. Same principle again, going into the two, going up to that imaginary line. You can really see that imaginary line now, what I'm working with. So again, it's important just to get that fade out as you're coming in. It sort of swings with the clipper, so it's really, you know, both hands on it. Good bit of discipline there. Keep your back straight. I'm sitting down while I'm doing this, just to keep it perfect. This will be a good one for Jackie Fretson actually when she's doing Neil's hair. We did a learning session like this many moons ago in the salon, so this will be perfect for you to be able to learn how to fade out. So again, it's just important to be able to just get this fade right. So just imagining that line all the way around as you're doing it. It just keeps it nice and clean. Again, then we go to the next clipper guard, which will be the 1, but we'll then fade it into the 1.5, which you can now see as I pull the clipper out, it just gives it that lovely little fade just on the top there. So you really want to make this as easy as you can, so then you're not in a position where you're working too hard at it. So again, it's now open blade. We're now going back in, again just taking it down just a little bit just to keep it nice and tight, because we're working towards that perfect skin fade, which is what we need. So again, I'm just coming up on that, again just fading it out on an imaginary line just to keep it nice and tidy, and that just again just keeps the whole thing really nice and clean and aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So now, not forgetting around the ears, because that's where it tends to grow very quickly. So now we close the blade down to the 1 and just keep that in. Again, lighting is really important when you're doing this. You've got to be able to move around, you've got to be able to look at the head, inspect what you're doing, because it's a very visual thing, looking at everything. Right, so now going into a half open blade, which is on the skin, and then we then just fade out to the 0, which then takes off everything that we need to take off that's on the actual line, which then gives us a really nice perfect skin fade. Just pulling the ears out the way as we go around, because again you've got to be able to work with ears. You can see the shape now in the light, you just see that absolutely perfect through there. So you can see I've not been messing around, it's actually doing something. So again, just got to think about what you're doing with this. As long as you stay with the discipline of keeping it clean, it produces a clean line as you cut in. So again, it's just really important. Get the half on. Obviously we don't want to take any shorter on sideburns than the half. Hey, sideburns! That's it. See who's on now. Limerick Atkinson, good to see you with us. Liam Griffiths, nice to see you there. Nicky Gower. Ross, great to see you with us tonight, Ross. We've been working with the parietal ridge, second knuckle. It's all been on tonight, my friend. Here's a new one for you now. Open and close blade. That's another one for you. Hopefully you'll be able to share that with us on primal conditioning on Sunday when we go to Croft Hill, which should be very good. So that's a new one for you there, Ross. Good to see you. No doubt you'll see me live later if I can get a signal running down the A5, which will be smart.
Signal's a bit weak.
Okay, just stay where you are, it's fine. Just relax. So now we're going to go with the thinning scissors at this point, because we need to do some fading in. So we've basically got the bottom of the haircut, which is what we need all around here. We're now going to just do this fading through the top, which will just keep everything nice and cleaned up, which is nice. Sarah Jane Hon, nice to see you there. Is it Hon? Horn. It's nice to see, it's difficult to see at the angle, but nice to see you with us tonight, Sarah. So I'm now just going with a fade. As you can see, the 29 teeth just really battling away at it in a single blade. Now what this will do now is just really polish off the cut and bring it together. Big mate had this done the other night, so Lynn's used to seeing what I do when I just bring it all together at the end. He's viewing there, but this is how it all comes together. You'll see a reprise of Big Mate's there in a minute. But the main thing is, we can sort of see a nice fade coming through. The colour looks perfect on it all, and again, it's just got to be looking spectacular. Even with the camera on, there's no hiding away from any of this. It has to look perfect, even if the camera's on or off. So that's why I like doing these, because it's, you know, it's really, the pressure's on. What you see is what I see. There's no escaping it. So that's why I say keep your skill set up. It's really important, because again, it's what it's all about. Again, we'll photograph Joseph's hair at the very end, which we'll then put onto Facebook later, and you'll be able to see exactly what it all looks like. Again, with Ant Collie, our last model we did last week, the big AC, he went onto the page for Muck USA off Instagram. They took his photo that I took of him and put it onto their page, so he's now gone international, which is fantastic. I'm just hoping that Joseph will do the same, even though we're international tonight live with the cutting part. Hopefully we've got people watching from Italy. I know that we occasionally have Rocco watching, so good evening. And also Miguel from Chicago will make an appearance, as with our family from Australia, Chris Lord from New Zealand, to try and think who's on, Nick McCaffrey from Poland, just to name a few of the people that are watching. So it's great that you're with us. Jeff Arrowsmith the other week from Ireland, he might be watching from Dubai later. So we've now got the fade. You can actually see just how that sits into the back with the swirl. So I'm now just going to work a little bit more with this swirl and just soften it up a bit more. So really what it's a question of is just picking it up and moving it around to the angle where it wants to sit, because again with thinning scissors you can actually work away with it and sort of maneuver the blade to wherever it's going, as in you can thin in that direction as long as you're going in the right direction and you're not putting a line in it. So now we're going to go through the top and tailing. So the idea is we're now going to take a bit of thickness out of this, so it's on the top, underneath, and again we've got the basis of the cut, we just need to thin it out so everything just sits perfect.
Richard McKinder.
Richard McKinder, nice to see you there tonight, all the way from Dadlington. Good to see you. We managed to get a shout out for you tonight. Hopefully you're with the family. No doubt the boss is watching with you tonight, Liz. He'll be loving that when I say the boss. I know that Liz will be loving that, definitely, without a doubt.
Alison Broughton.
Alison Broughton, nice to have you with us as well tonight. Hope you're okay. Martin's okay. Thank you so much for your support with the Spartans and what I'm doing and Glenda's doing. We all support each other. We're being a family, so you know we really appreciate your support as well and your inspiration to us. So thank you. So you can now see this is now starting to pull that front round nicely and finish that through, which again just turn that slightly as I'm doing it. So as I'm turning it, what it's doing is it's just pulling it round just to make it a little bit more so it sweeps and gives us a softer look. Let's just change the camera.
Shout out for Kylie Gower.
Kaylee Gower, big good evening. Nice to see you on there with us tonight. So again, let's just top and tail this.
Just
part.
loving the shout. I'll
tell you what, this is the most amount of shout outs we've ever done actually.
Well,
it's like a real community thing. It's fantastic. It wasn't
great
really...
to see from the international community as well. It's fantastic to see.
It is.
It's amazing to see the support for Muck and Scott Bailey hairdressing, I've got to say.
You'll see these people.
Jeffrey Arrowsmith.
Jeffrey Arrowsmith is actually on with us. Quick. Nice to see you, Jeff. Hope you're okay, whether you're with the family or in London or whichever part of the world you're in tonight. Great to see you, buddy. Hope you're okay. I hope you're really good. It's great to see you. Take care, my friend. Who else have we got on, Dad?
Sorry?
Who else is that, sorry? Who else is that?
Oh, sorry.
After Jeff.
Jessica Allen.
Jessica Allen. That's it, quick one. You know you're loved. You know. Nice to see you. Hope you're okay, sweetheart. So, now just coming through to the top to make sure I get out 1 in 4. It's important. So, now you can really sort of see that shape coming through. Now what we're going to do is just bring it around this way. So I'll keep the camera where we are, otherwise we'll lose the signal. All of a sudden we're on side 2, folks. There we go, as if by magic. Now we can all see what I'm doing. So we're just really bringing this through. We're coming towards the end of the cut now, so it's just a question of really just trying to just clean bits up. You tend to get a lot of weight when you're doing a man's haircut in this area, because remember we've got weight coming from 2 directions, so you just got to try and clean it off. You see a lot of young men that have these haircuts and they have a lot of weight that sits in the corner, and that's really what it's all about with it. It just keeps it away. So again, it's all about the angle, working it out so you can really take that weight off. Right, let's get the razor back again in a minute just to finish that off. Have a little bit more out of there, just on the old crown. Right, just have another pair of scissors, just very quickly. So, just through the top now, it's just going to go through there. This is where you've got to watch your fingers, folks, because it's fast moving on the blade, just to make sure that everything looks good. Again, it's just taking the softness out, and then we'll just literally lose the comb, twist it, twist the scissor as well, just to give you a bit of show for at home. So 3 months of practice, that's what it makes you do. So now just twisting that, slicing that in. What this is actually doing is creating more texture and thinning the hair out at exactly the same time. This is an old Tony and Guy trick from the 90s, this one.
Wow.
So again, it just really just creates a nice effect. You're using the shank of the blade as you're slicing into it.
Jeff's at Market Bosses Rugger Club.
Jeff, nice to see you from just down the road then tonight. You're not too far away. I thought you might be international. But big shout out to everybody at the Market Bosworth Rugby Club tonight. Really, really good to see you with us, buddy. Really nice. Thank you. So now we can really see that cleanliness coming through on the cut, and it just finishes it
Nickel
out.
Cowdery.
Nicola